Hey guys, HDvee here and welcome to a brand new video. Today we've got quite a few things to go over. We have some new details on the next DLC update patch for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. We also have some new rumors to go over for Pokemon Day. There's a lot of stuff to break down and get into, so if you're excited for the video, as always, make sure to drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 500 likes, it really helps out. Leave a comment with your thoughts on anything we cover in today's video. Subscribe if you're brand new for daily Pokemon content. Ring the notification bell. With all of that out of the way though, let's get into the video and I really hope that you enjoy. So, starting things off, we finally have some new details on the next DLC update patch for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Now, this update patch was promised to us between the middle of January and the end of January. It is now being postponed, but by not much at all. So basically, we have HDvee here tweeting out, saying, HDvee update, it has been confirmed that Pokemon Scarlet and Violet version 3.0.1 featuring some bug fixes and minor alterations will be released on February the 1st, 2024. So that is not tomorrow, that is on Thursday. So Thursday we will be getting this update patch for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And again, if you don't know what this update patch was originally for, it was for a couple of things that were kind of popping up. So these were like the main things that were going to get fixed, these known bugs. So the game stops responding to button input if the player uses items to level up an Inkay to any level below level 30. So that's going to get patched. And as well as that, some materials needed to craft TM223 Metal Sound are dropped by a Pokemon that appears in only one version of the game, being Shieldon. So obviously you can't make it in Scarlet, where Cranados is the version exclusive. So that is also going to get patched. So these two things are going to get patched in the next update. There's also the, I think something to do with Hydrapple as well. Hydrapple's move is also going to get patched. Obviously, since then, we've also had the whole dupe glitch thing that's kind of been popping off all over the place. Maybe that's why it's been postponed, because they're also working on a fix to that. So I could definitely see the dupe glitch also being fixed on Thursday. So obviously, if you are trying to like dupe items and stuff like that, you may only have a couple days to do it. Of course, it's not confirmed whether that's going to get patched or not. I'm just assuming that because it's been postponed clearly. So maybe it is because of this dupe thing, because obviously they're going to want to patch that as soon as possible. There might be some other fixes and little like tidbits as well that they are going to change, because we did have Anubis here tweeting out. So this was before the confirmation of this update patch today, saying, if you're wondering why I've been so quiet, I've been waiting for the end of January Scarlet and Violet patch to recheck and finalize all my updates. Surely it will be this week, right? Because we then had this reply where we have him saying, we're still on 3.0.1. There are some interesting minor changes I noticed, but I don't want to share something and then redo it a few days later if they changed it. So there's a few other things that Anubis has seen, and then they're not sure if it's going to get updated and patched or whatnot in this next update. So we may have quite a few things to kind of cover on Thursday when this update patch drops. But either way, that's the update on it. It's coming February the 1st. It's not coming in January, but again, it's not like we have to wait a ton of time, because it's the day after the last day of January. So that's the update patch. Moving on, we have a new rumor to go over for Pokemon Day. Again, this was posted on 4chan. It's posted on the 25th of January, so a few days ago now. Of course, with it being a 4chan rumor, take it with a massive grain of salt. You know, 9 times out of 10 these are false, but you know, sometimes there are certain ones that kind of slip through the limelight. But either way, it says about the next Pokemon Presents on the 27th of February. I'm not sure what this image is supposed to be. I'm assuming it's supposed to be like the main menu of the next game or whatnot. Don't know how they would already have that, but either way, they start off by saying 2 new video games from the main series will be announced. One of them is developed by Game Freak and the other by Ilka. So this rumor here is saying that, you know, the exact same thing's going to happen with what we had with BDSP and then Legends Arceus, where, you know, one company works on a main series game and then another company works on the main series game, which very well could happen, you know. So with everything that Riddler-Ku has been saying about like the Faithful remake and everything like that, that could easily be something that Ilka's working on, as BDSP were a Faithful remake, which could be Johto because of the 25th anniversary of Johto this year. And then Game Freak could be developing, you know, the other main series title, which very well could be Black and White 3, Legends Kyurem, something like that. But either way, whether this is not true or not, like, that could definitely be something that is happening, because there's a lot of like things that could easily be made this year. But anyway, apparently 2 new games are being created, main series games. The first one will take place in Unova, where we'll return to the Blueberry Academy as a new character. Petulant will play a significant role in the plot, along with some characters from Scarlet and Violet, and the theme of multiverses will be explored, opening new possibilities never before seen in Pokemon. So, straight off the bat, I don't understand why Petulant would appear in the Blueberry Academy. Like, Petulant has literally nothing to do with Unova or the Blueberry Academy. Petulant is all about the Teal Mask DLC in Kitakami, and that is literally where its story resolves and everything like that. I don't know why it would be in the Blueberry Academy. That doesn't really make any sense. I also don't want to go back to the Blueberry Academy. We've just had that in the Indigo Disc. Like, why would I want to go back to the exact same place in a full game that we've just had in the DLC? And we can all clearly see that the Blueberry Academy is not enough content for a main series game. The only way that I'd be okay with the Blueberry Academy being something we go back to would be if we go back to Unova, and then the Blueberry Academy is just an extra portion of that. I don't know why we would go back to the Blueberry Academy as like the main thing, but either way, they then go on to say the Scarlet and Violet's protagonist will also return, and you'll have to face him/her at the end of your adventure. So this is obviously very, very similar to what happens in Red and Blue, and then into Gold and Silver, where you play as Red in Red and Blue, and then you obviously have to battle Red in Gold and Silver. So that's the exact same situation here. If you have a saved game on your console with DLC 2 completed, the game will import your data, so the character will have the same Pokemon as yours. It'll be something similar to the encounter with your past self Red in Johto's Silver Cave. That is always something that I would love to kind of happen, like where it kind of incorporates your actual team, and that is who you fight. Obviously, it'd be also like very easy just to put like a bunch of level 1s on your team, and then you'd just be battling a bunch of level 1s. So I don't know if they would like level scale it or something like that. But I really like the idea of like importing your original team from the base Scarlet and Violet games, and then you battling that. I don't think it's going to happen, and I don't think this is true already, but it would be kind of cool if that was something they do at some point, because they clearly take a lot of inspiration from save data, because, you know, they give like mystery gifts and items and rewards and whatever for having save data, just to kind of promote you to buy all the games. But it would be definitely cool to see something like that at some point. The second upcoming Pokemon game is a Gold and Silver remake that will feature crystal enhancements, plot changes, and the return of the real time and day-night cycles. The storyline will incorporate time travel, linking it to the Scarlet and Violet and Unova games. So this isn't a faithful remake. This is a Gold and Silver game which has crystal enhancements, but it also changes the plot, and also time travel is in the game as well, which also links back to Scarlet and Violet. I don't know why all these games are linking back to Scarlet and Violet. Like, just let it be its own thing. Like, Scarlet and Violet's basically done now. Like, we don't have to keep going back to it. We've just had 2 years of Generation 9. We don't need another year of a game just going back to the Gen 9 games. We don't need it. It's alright. We can let it be. It's on its own. It's fine. And then next up, Game Freak left several clues about these games in the Scarlet and Violet DLCs, and Detective Pikachu Returns, and some fan theories are correct. So I'm assuming the several clues are, you know, the Johto music, stuff like that in the Scarlet and Violet DLC. Detective Pikachu Returns, there was quite a few Johto references. There was like the images of Ho-Oh and Lugia on the wall. I think there was also something else as well, which were kind of like people thinking that maybe they could be hints towards Johto, because there was a lot of Johto representation in Detective Pikachu Returns, which it didn't really need to be. I mean, I've not played the games. I don't know if it's set in Johto or whatnot, but yeah, there was a lot of Johto kind of memorabilia and images and stuff like that in that game. A new language will be added to Pokemon games, Latin American Spanish, thanks to a campaign started by fans. The last language added was Chinese in 2016, also thanks to a fan campaign. So yeah, I think this is legitimately true. I think they have actually gone on about a new language that they're also going to incorporate into the game. So yeah, whether this, again, turns out to be true or not, I think that whole extra language, I think that generally is something that's going to be happening, which is good. You know, they should be able to incorporate well, not every language, because there's like 3,000 languages or whatever, but you know, most of the known languages they should incorporate into the games. The opening of a Pokemon Center in Mexico will be announced, with plans to expand to other countries in South America. Yeah, I mean, I for one definitely think they should start popping up with Pokemon Centers all over the place. Like when one opened up in London, it was absolute anarchy. Like the queue was ridiculously long. It was like 8 hours long and stuff like that. And you know, that was just because it was a pop-up Pokemon Center. If they made like a legitimate Pokemon Center there for like ever, then it would considerably do really, really well. And I think that should be like everywhere. Like, I don't think it'd take too much work for them to make a Pokemon Center in most places. and they would make a ton of money from it. So I don't know why they don't do it, but, you know, it'd be cool to see if they did do that in the end. And then Pokemon Scarlet and Violet will have a re-release with improved graphics and performance for the Switch 2, and it'll include both DLCs, announcement date to be confirmed. So, I mean, I'd be fine with this, but I wouldn't be fine with paying for it. Like, I've already got Scarlet and Violet, I've already got the DLC, I'm not going to buy it again just to have better performances on the next Nintendo Switch, which I think they will do. I think they will incorporate Scarlet and Violet onto the next Switch, but it should be for free. Like, you shouldn't have to buy it again. It should just be like what they did with the PS5, where if you'd already owned the previous game, you literally get a free version of the PS5 game, and you just download it. Like, I don't know how they would do it. I don't know if they would make you buy it again, but, you know, when the Nintendo Switch 2 comes out, which again could come out this year, you know, the first Pokemon game on it could be a enhanced version of Scarlet and Violet. I could definitely see that happening. In these new games, the story of Unova and Johto will be connected to the future Generation 10, which will take place in Australia, and will be announced on February the 27th, 2025 for the Switch 2. Again, I don't know. Again, it might, but I just don't understand why they would announce Gen 10 next year when it's the 29th anniversary, when you got the 30th anniversary the year later. Surely it'd be announced February 27, 2026, and then come out that year for the 30th anniversary. That just makes the most sense to me. And then they go on to say there will be more announcements for the mobile games, and they'll also talk about the release of Pokemon Horizons in the West, but this is the most notable information. So yeah, obviously Horizons has been postponed in the West, I think like a couple of weeks. Originally it was supposed to come out around, like maybe around the end of February or something like that, but now it's coming out at the start of March, but they might still talk about that regardless. Again, on Pokemon Day this year, I think they're going to talk about a lot of stuff, all the mobile games, yeah, probably Pokemon Horizons, probably Pokemon TV, and then obviously the new games and stuff, but either way, I don't think this is true. I think it's all kind of all over the place, it's all a bit jumbled. There's certain aspects of this rumor that I think could be true, like, you know, the 2 games coming out this year, new Pokemon Center, the re-release of the improved graphics and performance for the Switch 2 of Scarlet and Violet. There's a lot of things that I could see happening, but either way, what are your thoughts on this rumor? Let me know, and of course, what are your thoughts on this update patch as well? Let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like. Let's try and hit 500. It does really help out. Subscribe if you're brand new for daily Pokemon content. Ring the notification bell. It's everything from me, though. Have a great rest of your day, and until next time, peace.